Hi, thank you very much for clicking on my video. You're probably wanting to know a little bit more about this change your brain, change your life concept. And basically I developed it after I had my third baby. I had a really rough time after she was born, and I had a lot of anxiety, stress, and I was overwhelmed about the tiniest things. And the anxiety was particularly bad when I was sleeping at night, and I would wake up with these crazy thoughts that honestly now to me seem crazy, but at the time were very real. And I got myself into a point where I was really struggling. I was really, not coping. I was just surviving and not thriving. And I was perplexed by this because, as you may know, I spent 13 years at university studying the human body, and in particular the nervous system, which is where I got my PhD. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I mean, yes, physiologically, of course, I had an idea of what was going on, but what was going on within me? And most importantly, what could I do to make it stop? So after I really did hit rock bottom, it was quite terrible, I decided that something needed to change, and I went on this journey. And it sounds really heroic, but it totally wasn't. I was filled with fear, and every step I took was a fearful step, but I had to do it because I just couldn't keep living where I was. So some days were good, some days I took little steps and I grew, and other days were terrible and I felt like I was never going to grow and I was never going to get out of this. And it took about 2 years, and during this time I really worked on myself, and I read a lot and I wrote a lot and I spoke a lot and I listened a lot, and this growth happened. And what I realized was that it was actually my specific neuroscience, particular to me, that was creating the situation I was in, the experience I was having. So it got me thinking, and I was like, well, if that is my neuroscience, if I could change my brain, perhaps it can change my life. You probably know that there's been this amazing discovery of neuroplasticity, which basically means that we used to think the brain was fixed, but now we know that the brain can be changed. It's plastic. So I was like, right, okay, I'm going to go and change my brain. So how did I do that? Well, basically anything can change your brain. But I was looking at my experiences and my thoughts and everything that made up my neuroscience. And then I looked in particular with connection and meditation, mindfulness, psychotherapy, psychology, and neuroscience to see how I could make changes. Now that was 5 years ago. And I am so happy to report that it worked. I changed my brain and I changed my life, and I feel so happy and so fulfilled, and I really feel like I'm flourishing now, not only as a person, as a woman, but as a friend, as a wife, and as a mother. And it was a horrible time, but I'm really glad it happened. What I'm even more excited about is that I am now lucky enough to support women who are struggling in a similar way to how I was. You don't have to be at rock bottom to come. In fact, if you're not, my hat's off to you because you put your hand up. I never did that. So I am really happy to take women on board in our courses or one-on-one and looking at their particular neuroscience, what makes their neuroscience create their current reality, their situation, their experiences. And I use a similar umbrella of techniques and that I just spoke about before, but it's really individual because we're all so unique and we're all so different. And at the end of the day, I'm just so happy that I've seen women flourish. They've changed their brain, they've changed their life, and I would really love to be able to help you as well. At the very least, please join our Tough Mothers Facebook group, which is a free Facebook group where you will get support from women who have either been in your situation or are currently going through what you're going through. And there's just so much support there. I'll put the link for that in the comments. But please reach out, send me an email if you like, join one of our courses, come to our events. There is so much support out there for you. You do not need to live in this life where you feel unfulfilled and unhappy. I'm here and I can help you to flourish again.